In this video, we are going to discuss how not to get scammed in the NFT space. We've seen a number of scams happen directly and indirectly in the past few weeks, and we want to give you the skills and the knowledge to prevent it from happening to you. As usual, nothing in this video is financial advice. We are not financial advisors. The NFT space is incredibly risky, so always do your own research. Gentlemen, scams in the NFT space. It's a big part of crypto. It's a seemingly bigger part of NFTs specifically. And when people are rookies, it can happen really fast. So in this show, I want to talk about some examples of scams that get run on people. Some are really obvious and, only true beginners will fall for, but some are deeper cut and they can kind of get anybody. So just to kick things off, what are some scams that you guys have seen that you think that you'd want to call out right away?
The classic YouTube scam where people build up a YouTube channel for an extended period of time and a project and then just rug everybody on it. That's a
Stay
classic
tuned.
one.
Stay tuned.
No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, no, I think for me, there's all sorts of scams. Like buying like a project that's overhyped, that's an overhyped project. That's maybe a cash grab, but it's not like a pure play scam. Like when
Right.
I'm thinking about the NFT space in terms of scams, what I'm trying not to have happen is like lose it all or lose a significant sum of money. So like in terms of are we talking specifically like on the project side?
Well, look, we can give everybody kind of a baseline. So what Captain Kicks is talking about right now is like the distinction between a rug pull, a cash grab, and a pure scam. There are
Or like I'm worried about getting like a NFT, like my NFT stolen. We're not talking about that kind of
Yeah,
scamming, right?
I think all of these are varying forms of scams. So
Yeah.
I think let's start with just the project
Yeah.
aspect of it. And you have one up here that's not, we don't know verifiably whether or not this guy had good intentions. It just feels strongly like this is a full-blown group of friends. This is a casual scam. This is a friendly scam. An entrepreneur who just wants a little bit of cash so that he can fly back and forth between the parties in Miami and LA.
Casual scam. But it was one where if you bought it for a very high price point, I can pretty much guarantee you wouldn't be satisfied with your purchase unless you just happen to really value the artwork of this one digitally to be worth one whole Ethereum. But I have to think that you would have probably, chosen to buy something else.
So
Yeah.
I was just going to say, let's start with the fact that if you're getting into NFTs, you're going to get scammed. At some point in this process, if you don't watch this video, you're going to get scammed. Now, if you share this video with all of your friends and family, the odds of them getting scammed goes closer to zero. So it is your duty to click that subscribe button and that like button and then smash the share and share that on all of your social media channels so that people understand how to protect themselves.
Yeah.
But you're going to get scammed. I think all of us have gone through at least 1, 2, or 3 scams at some point in this space.
So like one of the things, just broad strokes to avoid challenges like these, like, looking back at Pixelmon and this, like one of the easiest tells of like these new cash grabs is just that it's going to be very hyped Dutch auction or something that's going to make the price very high out the gate, or they're charging above 1 ETH or some absurd number. But like in terms of like identifying if something is legit or not, here's the thing is like look around and see what the reputable people are talking about, right? Like the reputable people aren't going to be talking about projects that are the cash grabs because they know how to sniff it out themselves. And I'm not saying like all reputable people, but I'm saying, for example, like there's projects that Cocomon or Nate Rivers or
Loopify.
or DF Farmer are talking about, right? Like focusing on those kinds of projects. And here's the thing, a lot of legit projects out there, they're not coming out of the gate at like 3 ETH. You know what I mean? And a lot of them are like whitelist first, So the things that are coming out that are like front loading the Dutch auction or like front loading the public mint, that's a pretty telling sign. But like it's just easy to get, not, once again, these aren't scams, but it's easy to get caught in like an overhyped project that's going to pull back super hard if the signs just seem to be like mania, but like no one that you trust in the space is really talking about it. You know what I mean? Like in hindsight, I look back and it's like Pixelmon, like no one reputable put that on my radar. But guess what? Like reputable people put Azuki on my radar, and I 3 or 4x because I see Andy talking about it, and I saw D's talking about it on Twitter, and I saw people in like Trey and Donald were like super like when you see a bunch of reputable people that are all bullish on something, right? The chances that you're getting into some scam rug pull or something like that is greatly lowered.
So
Yeah.
what you're talking about signals for a good project versus bad signals. So let's or otherwise known as flags, red flags. So the things we can present it as signals. Let's take the inverse and present the things as red flag. Red flag
Yep.
number one, no one I'm following, because first you want to do your research and follow key figures in the community. You're going to want to follow all three of us via the Twitter accounts right there, right after you've shared this video with all of your friends and purchased our NFT and hopped in our Discord. You're going to want to do a little bit of work, before you protect yourself. So you're going to follow reputable accounts. And now when you go and follow these other projects, if none of those people are following the Twitter account, that is red flag number one to me.
Yeah.
So that's the first one.
Definitely. Exactly. And see, like all of those people in there, like a lot of those people that we just scrolled by are people that I respect in the space. So I guess that's like kind of what I was saying about Azuki, because Azuki was a very expensive mint. So what I was saying is you can't just avoid all expensive projects. If you have the budget for them, there could be some great opportunities there. The difference is between like legit hype and like manufactured hype is that you'll see signs that like reputable people are also interested, in the project. So what you laid out right there, like see who else that you are following that are following the project. Because you also then can even hit up people and like pick their brain, be like, yo, I saw you following this project. Do you know anything about it? Oh no, my buddy just told me to follow it. Versus like, oh yeah, this thing's legit. Like I'm super pumped for it.
So
Exactly. And what people might not know is that a lot of these sort of OGs, like the people that are very successful investors in
Ogs.
NFTs, that shit doesn't, it doesn't happen by accident, and it doesn't happen by luck, even though Nifty Nick will probably tell you that it did for anybody besides him. And like, for example, I'm getting deeper into like interviewing project creators to basically vet them before I, deploy a substantial amount of capital into them. And this has been
like
happening.
$30.
This has been happening behind the scenes, for these OGs for a long time. So a lot of times, if someone like Deez, I'm just using him as an example. I don't know him personally, but if he's like, publicly stating that he likes a project, is interested in a project, or is bullish on it, there's a pretty decent chance that he's done like some pretty solid due diligence, whether it was done by him himself or people that he trusts. So that's the indicator that we're kind of talking about here.
So, okay. Inverse of indicators is flags, and that's what we're doing in terms of avoiding scams. So what are you going to see on those projects? Bigger indicator of a scam is 200,000 followers, one or two people of the reputable people following. When you have nobody following, that's even a bigger flag. Another thing that you'll see is if they got 250,000 followers, but they also just launched. Like their account launched within 3 weeks.
Where'd those followers come from?
Yeah, like where did 250,000 people all of a sudden come from? I mean, like don't get me wrong, it is possible to go viral, but this is wildly uncommon.
Yeah, and just like look at it. It's called hype bears. Like look at these fucking bears. Like come on. You know what I mean? That's another like red flag. I'm sorry. You know what I mean? It's a red fucking flag. These are the new super Yetis, dude. Have you seen the actual art that got revealed the other day? It's fucking jabroni. You know what I did? I looked at these for a second, and then I scrolled down on the website to the team, because the team usually uses the profile pics, so you can actually see what the profile pics are actually look like. And I immediately sold. I was like, this is so bad, dude. This is so bad. But don't worry, the 3D avatars are coming sometime in the foreseeable future, sometime on the time horizon ahead of us. there will be 3D models that will get dropped. So you can get very excited about that.
So hold on, what was on? Can you go to the website, Pia, so we can actually demonstrate what's going? Yeah, let's go check it out so that we can at least show the red flag quality the Captain Kicks.
It's like if you mixed Super Plastic and Super Yeti together, you'd get their art. So you can just scroll down to the bottom, or you can click the team link. But like, these look cool, right? You don't get these though. You don't get the 3D avatars sometime in the future. This was a red flag to me right there. Go up. How ugly that clip art is. That was a red flag to me. And then scroll down to the team. That was what the actual art looks like.
Anon AF, right?
And look at that's the art you're getting. Like, look at it. You're not getting the walking.
You got
bears,
a banana mouth.
Yeah, I'm sure that's super rare. But it's Super Yeti. It's Super Yeti traits.
Well, do you know, are any of these people doxxed?
I don't care.
Well, I just want to say, like, that's a red flag. Number 2 is just aliases for all these different people.
It's such a red flag.
At this point in time, it's just a red flag. Like, if you can't put yourself out there, I'm not interested in doing business with you.
We're basically done. Yeah, exactly. Like, this guy's whole life is just hype bears and everything, and he's totally Anon. At this point, the Anon people that are already Anon, like D's and stuff, are grandfathered in. So they're like the Anon.
Well, they have an Anon reputation. If you have an Anon reputation, like the people behind Doodles,
yeah,
you know what I mean, where they had this established reputation in the space, then that's fine. And that's the opposite of that is what we're talking about on this show that Nick wants to say. The opposite of that is a red flag, which is people launching with no reputation, no backgrounds, no understanding. And here's the thing. I'm not saying that you can't launch but it's the combination. It's you're launching at these super high prices. You came out of nowhere. You have an overhyped following, and you have no reputation backing that you're willing to share.
So is like a 3D gummy bear.
Well, and let's be. I don't think the 3D gummy bear looks bad. I'll be honest, but my only issue is that the artist's name is Artsy. That's literally the name of the artist. Artsy, like that's what they came up for the username.
That sounds like a bot. And that sounds like a bot Twitter name too. That sounds like you would have bought that account.
To be clear, we're saying how to avoid scams in this space. This one, you know, it's not definitively a scam. So there's a spectrum of scams that you're looking out for. And the spectrum involves a wide range. The simplest is a hard rug right out the gate. The people take all the money, give up on the project, shut down the Discord, shut down the Twitter account, and disappear.
And luckily, if you're trading on Ethereum, you don't have to worry about that. That's pretty much exclusively on Solana.
Yeah. So
yeah. Well, but one layer deeper than that is you plug your wallet in and interact with the contract, and it drains all your shit.
Ethereum
that doesn't happen on Ethereum either. That's the thing. That happens on Solana.
Ethereum has definitely had some projects where the Discord shut down. That was earlier on.
Hash demons, you know.
That's a proper rug.
Now what they've realized is whatever you want to call them, the people making a ton of money are realizing that instead of rug pulling, you can make a lot more money just promising future potential hype and then cash in on the secondary as well.
Exactly. Like,
so that's why they've stopped rug pulling. Yeah, exactly. Now it's a slow rug pull. It's like a 6-month rug pull of like, it's coming around the corner. It's coming around the corner. It's coming around the corner.
This guy's doxxed. He, you know, I'm not going to say it, but you know, he's from never mind.
Yeah. Yeah, dangerous territory. We're about to go to war. They're about to go to war anyway.
Yeah, we're not going with that.
Yeah.
What he was basically saying is a lot of these projects look similar to projects that came out of the ICO days, where there was at that point in time there were videos that you had to do, and what you would see is frequently Russian nationals who would hop on those videos and basically make a video about some startup that doesn't even exist. And they would, it was like a Kickstarter level video, but they couldn't find someone else to make the video. Like they couldn't even like pay someone else to go do it. So they did it themselves and never built the business. They just launched the ICO and got out of here. What's crazy is, and that was very common, it just so happened a lot of them were Russian nationals. I have no idea why that was the case. I have a lot of great artists that I've hired from Eastern Europe and Russia who I still actively work with. But in the scam space, it just happened to be that a lot were coming from there for whatever reason. So we saw it again. Same with the the Russian team that was behind Fatal
Fame Lady Squad
or Fame Lady
Hash
Squad,
Demons.
whatever. Yeah, it's the same group back again doing the exact same thing. So I I don't know what's going. I mean, maybe Russia just doesn't like give a shit. Maybe they're actually legit organized crime because Putin's brought back the old whatever you call their mafia police shit. But yeah.
Well, let me tell you about something that this is a newer NFT scam that I think is coming to the market on the project side. I think we're going to hear more about it as more people look for this kind of stuff. But I also think it explains a lot of the super weird price action that we're sometimes seeing on these projects. Like we're seeing projects like literally dump out of the gate, out of after mint, like really, really, really hard. You know what I mean? And
KGB is correct. Sorry.
and what I've heard that some projects, and I think maybe Squiggles was alleged to have done this, but keep an eye out for this. Projects are minting their own projects with multiple wallets to make the idea or make the appearance of high demand out of the gate. So then people literally FOMO in and then they sell from those wallets. And they're adding so much sell pressure from those wallets that what's sometimes causing these floor prices to absolutely explode right out of the gate. On top of it, this is why this is a legit scam, because they're making more money than even the mint, because they're buying NFTs from themselves, which only cost gas, and then they're selling it on the open market and collecting another 1,000 ETH in secondary sales.
Oh yeah,
and that is super hard to detect.
Well, and to be clear, in the crypto space, in the ICO space, there were market-making companies that you could pay whose job was literally to create volume of trading your token, and you would pay them 50 grand a month. That is a known aspect of the ICO space. This inevitably is going to happen in this space as well. Allison said, "I know you're joking." I'm not actually joking about some of that other stuff that I was saying. Like, this is legitimate, where there are actual criminal organizations which may be tangentially related to questionable, governments.
Oh, they're probably wash trading through their own NFT sales.
But why wouldn't North Korea or something like that, why wouldn't they have an incentive program to go scam the Americans? Like, I don't understand. Like, why wouldn't, like, this is a great approach because you get money. Like, that's like a legitimate thing. Now, I don't know that it's kind of crazy to be like North Korea is going and doing this stuff because I have no evidence of that. But the bottom line is there's no doubt scams in this space, and there's organized crime that has to eventually get involved with these sorts of things because there's just too much money at stake here. There's too much money
and
that's
it's too
available.
Easy. It's just easy.
It's so, for Pixelmon, this absolute complete bullshit that they set up here to make $70 million. This is just absurd. It's just absurd.
I looked it up in Robinhood's
Stu
series.
says blame Canada. Yeah, now it's the Canadians that are out here scamming us. I'm just kidding.
I looked it up today, and the publicly traded fintech unicorn company Robinhood raised $50 million in their Series B. So you're talking like Pixelmon ain't gonna go build Robinhood now, like they raised $70 million, where a company now that's like worth $12 billion or however much Robinhood's worth raised $50 million in their Series B.
That's unicorn level fundraising, basically. So if you go out and raise $150 million, you're a unicorn. If $100 million, same sort of thing. But I mean, the bottom line is, like, sometimes the problem is what's frustrating is operating in this space as a legitimate actor. But anyways, we're going off on a rant. We're not actually discussing the warning flags, how to avoid scams. It's avoid
podcast.
Russia.
It's a podcast, so we can lay it all out there. Yeah, so go ahead, Nick. Kicks.
I was gonna say that, I mean, like, pretty much all of these scams have like revolved around kind of, or like the talk so far has revolved around like minting, right? But there's also like stuff that can happen on like secondary as well, where people will try to artificially create demand that looks weird. Like all the time, I'll be on like tools that show me like the volume per minute. You know what I mean? And I'll like click on, I'll be like, oh, this looks interesting. But the activity of the buyers looks super weird. And it looks like a manufactured kind of like, let's all buy this at once. And then they're going to try to sell into the FOMO people coming behind it. So I'd say like red flags to look out for is like, if you're looking at volume indicators, like you have to also like take a quick look at the wallets buying and see if there's like unusual activity, like a natural volume increase. Like maybe you see someone floor sweep, then you see some people coming in and buying, and you see like a natural like accelerator. But like if you see like 5 different wallets buying like 1 or 2 each, all within like 2 minutes of each other, and then nothing happens. You know what I mean? That's one scam. I've also had people like hit up in DMs, like trying to get people to buy like duplicates of a project. So if you don't check the volume, you can get scammed pretty easily. And then also like telling you to buy something because there's like a big release or a big reveal happening. So I mean, what I'm trying to say is that there's multiple sides to it. There's things you have to watch out from minting, which is like overhyped projects. Then there's stuff you have to watch out on the secondary side as well.
Real quick, I just want to call out one thing that Kix just talked about, which is something that I didn't even think of. That's totally right. Is that people try to scam every single project by making another project on OpenSea, and it's not the real one. So right now I have the fake Nifty portal pulled up. This is not the real Nifty portal. This is the Nifty.
The real one's way more expensive.
Exactly.
Well, and here's the thing:
But
is this is how they can. Yeah, and this is how they can scam you. They can go into the Nifty Portal Discord. They can link you to the URL of the NFT itself. Then you don't see the volume on the collection. So if anybody is sending you links or anything like that, you always need to check the collect. I check the collection on everything, like whether I'm looking at stuff on secondary or anything. I always will click the collection to make sure that the volume's there, because that's an easy way to get scammed in the space. Because if they send you a direct link, if someone says, "Hey man, love the Nifty portal. I got to get out. I need some liquidity right now. I'll give you like a hot deal on it. I'll give it to you for like 0.09. I just really need the liquidity." And you're like, "Oh, okay, I'll help this guy out. I listed it for 0.09. Go buy it, whatever." Right. And the next thing you know, you have a fake.
Bada bing, bada boom. I got robbed.
You got robbed. You got robbed for some shekels.
So let's actually walk through the most common scam right there, which is, and I've had this happen, unfortunately, was if you are following a project that you're interested in and there is a hyped project, the classic one is on Telegram. In Telegram, people can add you to a new group. So if you're in a group and you're in one place, they'll add you to another group and bring you into that place and then send you a message. The drop is live, and then you're on a call, which is when it usually happens. You're on a call. You get the message. You're like, shit, I don't want to miss this drop. You click through, you go buy the thing, and you just lost your money, basically, is the most common form of this. So DM scams. Discord is over DMs. They use strategies to make you think that you can, either they want to give you, a deal on an NFT. I got to get, like you said, I got to get rid of this thing real quick. Or they give you an alert that there's some upcoming drop. But the first one and the only one that I've actively fallen for was the first one was on Telegram. I got a message from somebody. I wanted to go mint this thing. I was on a call, and then you just see that alert, and you're like, shit, I want to go get that thing. And you literally had not thought of it that way. But that's a very common one. Telegram approach, pretty straightforward. There's a million ways to social engineer a scam, and people are doing it all the time. So the biggest thing is but those aren't the worst scams. Like, you just know immediately that you lost your money and you learn your lesson. If you have your wallet hacked, that's the worst because it's devastating. Everything on your wallet is exposed. That is the second most severe scam. So someone will come and basically get the seed phrase out of your
out of you somehow. And
yeah.
in a way that it commonly happens to rookies, it's hard for me to believe that this happens, but it does, is that someone will express something about MetaMask or about their Ethereum wallet on Twitter, and then someone will like act like they're MetaMask technical support and send a Google form to the person. And one of the questions on the Google form is like, what is your private key or what is your seed phrase?
So that's a basic one. So that's like level 1 phishing. The next level is them hopping into support Discord. So OpenSea, for example, has a Discord and there's a support channel. And you can then go in there and ask questions. And then some friendly neighbor will hop in and say, yeah, if you want, I can hop on a call real quick with you and we can check it out. And then they get you to share your screen. And MetaMask did disable it. I don't know if they've re-enabled it. But basically, there was a button where you could show this QR code. And so if they were on the other end, you didn't think you were stolen at that point, or your code was gone, but that was your seed phrase on a QR code. And so now they can take over your MetaMask, and they're now dumping it the whole time, and you're not even noticing it while that's going down.
Look what RCKY said. There was a fake Hype Bears collection on Mint Day. That collection sold over 100 ETH volume before OpenSea took it down. And like that's like broad picture, like all the thing that I was talking about that you can still get scammed on secondary. Because one thing that they can do, the person that creates the fake Hype Bear collection, what they start doing is they start faking sales from that collection so that it's showing up in the activity feed.
Right.
And you're not going to notice the difference. Right.
Because some volume on the collection.
And there's some volume on the collection. So some people see like, oh, okay, like Hype Bears on the activity feed. They click the link and they just buy it. What you also need to do is click through on the collection. But like even that is not completely like, if they have some volume, it's still couldn't be like the best indicator. You just still have to be careful on the secondary. And I mean, there are tools out there that if you're using the tools out there, they're like, you can use a tool and look at a project at the collection level, and then you're never going to get scammed, right? So like if I'm looking at the trending collection feed on like NFT nerds, I'm not going to accidentally click on a bad link because I'm not just looking at OpenSea activity feed. I used to use OpenSea activity feed all the time, and you can get scammed that way because they'll just put fake stuff through that.
There's also so much bullshit there now that it just doesn't make sense, but that's a different,
Exactly.
conversation.
Exactly.
You used to actually be able to see what was moving.
But
now it's just a disaster.
It was like just watching stock tickers come by and you're like, hey, okay, this project looks like it's picking up speed, and you can filter out Polygon. You can only look at Ethereum, but still it's so chaotic now. But yeah, like I use NFT nerds. That's why I'm never worried about if I'm clicking on, or I use Genie Swap or Gem. Right? Like using any of those intermediary tools, they're already doing collection filtering for you. So you can like eliminate that risk profile from my mind. So I know if I'm using Genie XYZ, I'm never going to be floor sweeping the wrong project because they filter the project out. Right. But like if you're just operating on OpenSea, that is something that you got to keep an eye out for is fake collections.
We're about to hit 420 in volume traded, so that's very exciting.
At 419, bro. You had a layered joke there, man. You should have waited one more minute.
Oh, jeez. Wow. That was hella layered. Wow.
Wow. At 419. What?
Almost 420.
Oh, shit. So, anyways, that
was big.
Yeah.
That was big.
That was deep, man.
So
you remember when that happened? That was crazy.
Yeah, that was insane. So said Blaze one for the nation.
Blaze one.
So, anyways, we're still laughing about the number 420. This is like absolutely ridiculous. In terms of other scams that you're looking out for, let's get back to the projects for one last moment. And I think what's key is, and you have Nifty Portal up here, just sticking here. Can we get this off the page?
I have ours. It's like, hey man, you're gonna want to avoid scams.
If you want to avoid scams, grab this one. But please put on another one. Just please go to.
All right, so here's one that it got unscammed because that's how the NFT space works. which is not a bad thing, actually. Fame Lady Squad. This was like a quote unquote rug pull. Someone brought up a big rug pull that happened on Solana. Solana is more par for the course for like the hard rugs, where the founders like change the Twitter profile to the name of the project and then in parentheses like rug, like it's like a proud like sort of watch the world burn kind of mentality. But I guess other scams is like, when you first start, you don't want to have your DMs be open. You don't want to engage with people that are offering anything through DMs. Like, just find a good Discord community like the Nifty Portal, where you can, meet like-minded NFT investors, traders, collectors, participants, and you can learn how to be secure. And then obviously there are physical devices that you can use, like hardware wallets, that can act as a bit of a barrier and prevent you from getting scammed. But if you're going to engage with contracts with hardware wallets and still approve transactions, the hardware wallet doesn't make any difference. So that's something that you need to understand, you need to keep in mind, is that as soon as you engage with that contract, the fact that you used a hardware wallet does not change anything.
Yeah, you can get scammed on your hardware wallet as well. Regardless, although I don't know, it's harder to hack the seed phrase out of a hardware wallet via MetaMask, I believe, but I'm not 100% certain about that. Regardless, you should have your most valuable assets on a hardware wallet and use a hot wallet, aka one that's just on your computer. If you're trying to do quick trading, you can keep a wallet there that has small, lower value NFTs and do your flipping there without a hardware wallet, although that's not a security suggestion. Theoretically, you should always have a hardware wallet, but we do know that it creates some friction, and so you want to avoid that. But this is not about that. This is about actually right now the fact that there are so many projects in this space. Someone was sharing in the Discord as well. Every project has literally the same roadmap right now. It's like a combination of in-person. Ironically, like we have some of those items as well. Not 100%, but people want to go to in-person events. People discuss merch. People are going to make a metaverse version of the avatar. Who gives a shit about the metaverse version of the avatar? You can't even play Sandbox. Who gives a shit? I'm going to be like, this is complete nonsense. I don't like, will this be a thing? Yes. Do I need it now? No. What does it matter? No. Like, I don't care about walking around with my Bored Ape in my VR. I mean, it's cool. Is it worth $400,000 or $300,000? Probably not. Like, I'm gonna be honest. That's not really worth it to me. I wouldn't go and buy a Bored Ape for $300,000 right now just so I could get the future Sandbox version of it. And all these projects in some way are really just slow rugs.
There's definitely some slow rugs out there. And just to reiterate, what a slow rug means is like basically that the founder of the project is not going to continue to build it. So interesting enough, there was a project that I bought at the end of 2021. The project raised, I think, $4 million or something on the primary sale. And there was just no news since then. And I was like, is this a rug pull? Like, what's going on?
They just DM'd me the other day. You're talking about the...
And they DM me. Don't say what it's called. And they DM me too. And they were like, can you help us? And I was like, nah, absolutely not. But I'm excited to see what you do. And I asked a bunch of questions. I was like, is it your full-time job? Do you do anything else? Is there anything else you're doing? Any other client
Did
work?
they answer?
And they said, this is the full-time job. I said, okay, that sounds good to me. I'm not going to like promote your shit, but I don't promote anybody's shit. I'm not going to positively talk about your stuff. But at least it's not a rug apparently, or maybe it's a slow rug and they wanted to buy another couple months for some secondary market sales. I don't know. But that's what I'm talking about, is like, if someone doesn't dedicate and build, then it's a rug pull. It's just a slower rug.
Yeah, it's a gradual, but there's also in the startup space, there's a thing called zombie companies, and zombie companies are really
you know
those
it's going to shut down. Is that it?
No, I was about to tell you actually. So a zombie company is a company which is making money but not growing. And so if you're a venture investor, it's not going to make the money for you. So it's sort of just in the state where like, cool, you got a lifestyle business. Congratulations. Like not helpful for my portfolio.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
like you took the money, we made the investment, but like, sorry, like I don't really give a shit about your company anymore because it's not working. I don't even know what zombie puberty means. What the?
Someone
is
said
that?
zombie puberty.
Anyways, that said, any other items that we want to hit before we wrap up this show? And quick update: we got the 1 ETH challenge. No, that's still active. So hop in our Discord. We'll have updates on that.
I love that song. I just love that. It's such a stronger exit. Are we exiting the left or the right today?
So,
This way? All right.
are we leaving right now? Is that it?
I already left.
Sorry.